I wanted to do another video. I want to actually redo one of my videos. I'm going to actually delete it. In fact, by the time you see this, it'll be deleted. But it was like a video that I labeled this as like one of my most important videos. Well, I just didn't do it very well. It was just not good. So I want to do it again in more of a comprehensive nutshell. I have a tendency to kind of go all over the place, branch off into all kinds of adjacent topics. With that said, the interaction between a performer and the audience. I've been doing performances kind of my whole life. Even early on when I was homeschooled and going to church, stuff with the family, do plays and skits, and do like songs or whatever, or Bible verses and stuff. They used to get it. Our parents would make us memorize Bible verses and then impress the rest of the church by like reciting them for having learned them. And it's just, I'll tell you, wow. Talk about mind control. Anyways, see, I'm getting off track again. An interesting distinction I've noticed is I've played with other people and heard other performers talk about those gigs where like everyone was just staring and no one was like saying anything, like they couldn't tell if the audience was into it or not. Well, I've also been in the audience and just staring, kind of spellbound, just like entranced, just mesmerized. And just because the audience is quiet does not mean they're not into it. They could just be stoned and like so into it that, you know, people don't have to be hooping and hollering for you. The music is a very intimate experience. It's like not everyone is loud during sex, you know. And yeah, I think that's just really important to make, because most people, and myself included, I've done it, will talk, have a little conversation in a performance, but the most enriching experiences I've had is where I just was in the experience, like watching the musicians, hearing what they're playing, and feeling the felt presence of that experience. It's truly marvelous. It's tremendous. As far as the felt experience, we really are there and really connecting with the music, and it's speaking to you, and your spirit is like activated by that. That's what I'm going for when I create music. I want to curate that experience for other people. So that's what I wanted to say. It's so easy to get distracted, you know. Our attention spans are so small and limited here, and it's just important to acknowledge that and just recognize that, and do the practice of trying to stay there a little longer. It's like a meditation, but you can do it with other experiences like music. So, I haven't heard anyone else talk about that, but just because an audience isn't making sounds for you does not mean they're not engaged. Like, you can tell when they're not engaged. I've been at those shows where like everyone's just drunk and loud, and you're like, what am I even doing here? I'm just adding to the noise. The best shows were when people were dancing, or it's like for me, just spellbound and just watching, and it's quiet in the room, and you can hear the quiet nuances of the music and like all the little things. Because when it's just loud in a venue, you miss a lot of the little quiet, little nuances that happen. And sometimes the smallest thing of a song can just be so potent. So during a show. It's okay to be involved. Like, you're still involved. It's like you don't need to, like, masturbate the performer's ego by always making noise, and, like, it's like, just have the experience the way you want to, you know? Totally acceptable. It's like, you're the one that paid for the ticket, you know? It's like, and the performers, it's mostly the ego ones, you know? They're like, I need everyone to be hooping and hollering and going crazy for me, and whoa, let's go, come on, you know? Which, I get that, that's cool too, but it's like music is an intimate thing. Like, you don't need to be loud. You don't need to give a loud response to the performers and being like, yeah, I love you. I mean, you can, that's great. I'm not dissing that, but I'm just saying it's okay to be quiet too. It's perfectly acceptable.